Now, chapter 3 is actually going to be a return of a familiar character, which we seen Blazing actually welcoming someone who came all the way from America to UA High. And so we actually saw All Might actually congratulate Isuku on his last mission. And so we actually saw Marissa Shield from My Hero Academia 2 Heroes anime movie, which you guys can also check it on my review on that as well, in which she actually came into UA High to attend there and working on the development lab, which she also gave the update on Dave, which he is actually recovering right now, but we actually seen her teaming up with Hatsume, in which she actually wanted to team up as well, knowing that they actually saw Isuku's costume. And so that's going to be their first project on how they're going to build Isuku a better costume. However, we actually see how they're going to put up a competition with Isuku being the judge, and so they actually created a perfect prototypes. So they actually have set up an area where they actually have Isuku testing a suit, which is actually Hasumi's design, which everybody actually is staring of how the suits actually was formed, which she actually called it the automatic Defender X, in which we actually see how she using the switch, the how to push the buttons to put the boulders and actually have Isuku dodging the boulders, in which the boots have actually stopped, and which Isuku has been crushed by the boulders, in which we actually knew that is actually a fail on Hasumi part, but now we actually seen Marissa using her costume, in which we seen her actually have developed a better costume before it actually tore apart, in which we actually knew this might not actually go so well for Suku. So we actually seen them put up a numerous inventions in which Isuku actually having a hard time trying to figure out what is actually the best parts for his costumes, in which Hatsumi and Marissa trying to figure out what is actually a good costumes for Isuku, but we actually knew that the disaster zones from the landslide ruin zones are actually have gone to berserk, in which USJ has actually been transformed into a real danger room, in which they actually have spring into action, while we actually knew how they were going to save Marissa and Hatsumi, by which they actually knew that they actually have had to stop the disasters from happening. But Isuku saved Marissa from the boulders, in which Hatsumi is trying to be saved by Isuku, but she actually saw the inventions and she actually tried to create something to actually save herself. But we actually saw Marissa using an invention that was actually in the form of her watch and actually save Hasumi, in which we actually see how they work together as a team, in which they decided they actually knew how wonderful their inventions really are, and so they decided to work together as a team as well. And so they actually continue using Isuku as a test dummy once again, and so they continue on with more testing. So we actually saw Marissa returning for the spin-off manga series and teaming up with Hatsume, which at the end in the disaster room, they actually decide to put their differences aside and work together as a team. Which having two inventors teaming up as a team is actually sound pretty much awesome, but kind of confusing. So I cannot wait to see what other chapters that we're gonna see on the next chapter next weekend. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment what you think about the manga chapter. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and like my Facebook page. Until then, and make God dream saying sign out. Laters.